Before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a story. My wife, Jenna, once looked me straight in the eye and said, "I need to find out if being with a guy who's bigger really makes a difference. You'll never know. Don't stress about it." "Start," I answered with one word. "All right." She thought I'd crack. She thought I'd fall apart. Instead, I went still, watching her with the kind of quiet she didn't know how to read. She smirked like she was testing me, poking at a bruise she hoped would hurt. We'd been together for 7 years. I loved her in the kind of way that rearranges a man's life. I gave her loyalty, routine, a safe place to land. She gave me joy, comfort, and a version of security I believed was real. Or maybe I just convinced myself it was. The truth, her little speech that night wasn't a joke. It wasn't an accident. It was a confession carved into a taunt. At first, the pain hit like fire, hot, blinding. But that fire cooled fast. It hardened, sharpened. What was left wasn't pain anymore. It was clarity. She wasn't being careless. She wanted me to know she was stepping out. She wanted me to feel small. But I'm not small, and I don't break. It didn't take much to find the truth. One night, she left her phone on the kitchen counter, unlocked, open, waiting. Her texts lit up the screen. "Can't wait for tonight. He'll never find out, LOL. Bigger is always better." Every message felt like a punch, but I kept reading. Screenshot, save. Forward to my private email. I wasn't looking for more proof. I was collecting leverage. Her girls' nights weren't drinks and gossip. They were cheap hotels and strangers whose names she never bothered to learn. And every lie she thought she'd hidden, I filed away quietly. Anger shouts, revenge whispers. I chose whispers. Step 1, protect the money. Joint accounts rerouted, passwords updated. My paycheck quietly moved into an account she knew nothing about. Step 2, build the case. Screenshots, hotel confirmations, call logs. Enough evidence to end any custody, any claim, any argument. Step 3, wait. I didn't want a dramatic meltdown. Those end too fast. I wanted a slow, silent collapse. The next week, she headed out for another girls' night, wearing a tight black dress and heels that clicked like a countdown. I stayed calm. The plan was already alive. By the time she came home, the locks were changed. But I wasn't gone. When she knocked, I opened the door, and standing right beside me was her mystery man. Only it wasn't the guy she'd been sneaking around with. It was her father, the man she admired, the man she feared disappointing, the man she believed would never know. I had called him earlier, sent him everything, every message, every receipt, every truth she buried under layers of perfume and lies. The look on her face when she saw him standing there, furious, ashamed, heartbroken, was the masterpiece I'd spent weeks crafting. "Care to explain?" he asked, voice low and ice cold. She tried to speak, but nothing came out, just a broken little sound as her mascara smeared down her cheeks. She turned to me for help. I met her eyes without blinking. No yelling, no begging. Just calm silence that said everything. Her father dropped the envelope of printed screenshots onto the table. The slap of paper hitting wood echoed through the room like a gunshot. Right there, in the doorway of a house she no longer had a key to, her world caved in. The days after moved fast. Divorce papers filed with every piece of evidence attached. Her father cut her off financially. Friends backed away. Rumors spread. People she'd impressed for years finally saw who she really was. Even the man she cheated with disappeared. He never cared about her. She was just a temporary thrill. And me? I walked out clean. Money secured, reputation untouched, life finally free of poison. She wanted to know if size mattered. It did. Not the kind she meant, not physical, not sexual. The size of patience, the size of restraint, the size of a man's resolve when he's pushed too far. She thought my quiet made me weak. She mistook my calm for being small. Now she stands alone, stripped of respect, stability, and the polished image she always depended on. And as I closed the door on her that night, her shocked face burned into memory. I realized something important. Revenge isn't fueled by rage. Revenge is control. And I never lost mine.